Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We in the building.
Yeah, man. Man, today, I guess it was seemed like a pretty comfortable day outside for the most part. I guess it got a little gloomy, and then a couple of little rain spurts came down. I think they had some windy little symbols in the forecast today for it to be pretty windy.
Yeah,
But man, how was your day, man? How your mental space? You know.
man. Mentally, I'm wonderful, man. In a good headspace, good vibration, good place, good energy. Feeling good, feeling great. That old song would say, feeling good, feeling great.
That's good
Feeling
then.
great, feeling good. How are you?
So, you said good vibration. Explain that to the people.
So when I mean vibration, I mean high energy. I'm in a good energy place, good headspace, good mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Um, and that's just we call that high vibration. So yeah. Um, it's always important to stay in that place to keep that energy that way. You know what I mean? Now I'm not saying that it's easy. There are some days that are challenging,
Hmm.
but I've gotten into a place, Kev, where I started you shared the NDE near death experience moment,
Hmm.
and the guy spoke on prayer and how prayer is supposed to be um, more of a command than a demand. It shouldn't be something that we're trembling about or we happenstance about it or we're wondering if it's going to happen or not. And so with that, I just command my days to be great. You know what I mean? And so far so good. I've been doing it for a little while now, and it's just like, I wake up in the morning, all right, I command today be a great day. I command things to be a good day. And even if I let the day go off and it doesn't let the day go off and I hadn't said it, I'll say at some point in the day and get, on track. You know what I mean? But I've been having good days, good vibration, good energy. You know what I mean? Like it's been a wonderful thing. There are days where, some people or some of us, all of us rather, have days where we're feeling low, we're feeling
Hmm.
low energy, we're depressed, we're sad, we're on the negative end of the spectrum.
Yep.
But it's like there's things that you can do to shift your day. You know what I mean? Like,
What's some of those
listening
things?
to listening to something funny,
Hmm.
watching something funny, listening to some music that makes you feel good, that doesn't have, a negative image or negative message to it. You know what I mean? Or giving gratitude, giving thanks for what you have and the things that are going well in your life. I've come to a place where I realize like, things are gonna happen,
Hmm.
stuff's gonna happen, but my perspective and the way that I think about things and look at things changes everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So um it helps me keep a high energy, keep a high vibration, knowing that, there's some things that are just out of your control that you can't control. There's some things just gonna happen, but it doesn't have to mess up your day.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's one of
So
the
I
things I had to
had
find. Go ahead.
nah, go ahead. Go ahead.
That's one of the things I had to figure out. Like, man, you getting this understanding of feeling like, okay, man, I can command how I want my day to go. I want all my days to go great. But then we realize that, every day ain't gonna be one of those happy, great days. You're gonna
Right.
have those ups and
Right.
downs, and life is, kind of cyclic like that. So where it's like a roller coaster where
Yep.
you have your ups and downs, and hopefully you are capable enough of being strong in those down times and making it through that, because that's normally the times that break people, because they say that
Right.
to find the true character of a man, then you look in his darkest hours and darkest times, them challenging times is really what shows the strength of a man, being able to make it through those times. Because anybody can have those happy, easy, smooth moments of, oh, everything, life is good and everything is flowing wonderfully, and the person living that sort of life might not get as many lessons as a person who had those little ups and downs, so to speak, which is all of us at the end of the day.
Right.
Yep. But I'm glad
I
you're. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I'm glad you. I'm glad you. Your mental space is good, man. Because you mentioned what's some of the mental challenges that you battle with. Do you mind
So
sharing?
like from depression, low self-esteem, or frustrated like we all are about not being where you want to be,
Mm-hmm.
where you when you feel like you should be there. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like I feel like there are so many of us that want to be successful, want to have abundance, wants to have, the best of life. And when you're not in that place, it gets discouraging. You know what I mean? When
Uh-huh.
you see somebody, sometimes you feel like, somebody less deserving or somebody doing something, crooked or whatever to get where they at, and you feel like, man, why they popping and I'm not? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are they successful and I'm not? So it's like, you know, all those things can get you down, but I'm just in a place now where it's like, what, ain't nothing changed.
Mm-hmm.
Circumstances are still the same. They are what they are. But at the end of the day, I look at it like, I'm blessed to be living.
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
blessed to be breathing. My eyes work. My
Mm-hmm.
mouth works.
Come on now.
My activity of my limbs work. You know what
Yes,
I mean?
sir.
Like if we're gonna go to church, I'm
Man, that's
just
a
saying,
blessing. Those simple things. Me and my brother had a conversation the other day, man, and we were just mentioning that. Like, man, I look around and I'm grateful, even though all of this, calamity and turmoil and all that is going on around me. I'm still, within, man, I'm comfortable and, I have faith that, things are, going to be well and already taken care of. Just having that peace of mind. And I guess faith kind of can give you that peace of mind. That's part of it. Cause they say, the I guess the evidence of things is not seen. And what's the
right.
rest of it? What's that scripture there?
Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen or not
Uh-huh.
seen.
Okay, so that right there. So, really being able to sit in the space of knowing that, okay, God is still moving things. Spirit is still working for me, and
Yeah.
got my best,
Interest at heart.
interest exactly. So,
Yep.
and
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 go ahead.
to go talk about my mental space, I was gonna, just talk about the space that I'm in.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm doing well now, man. I had my moments and stuff, and like everybody else, but for the most part, I had that I was going the road of like, having that high road of, having a good mentality, because I meditate every day and I practice a lot of different mental techniques. But I had to realize that, man, the therapists need a therapist sometimes too. And I heard a lot of other
That's
therapists
right.
saying that, good therapists,
Thanks.
they actually have therapists. So, I had to, get in my moment of, bringing myself back up into the place that I needed to be. And that really started happening after I had, let this studio go 20 years because that's all I knew. But I knew God was moving me out of that space, man, because all of the miraculous and interesting things that was happening that was leading to me, kind of letting that phase go out of my life and move on into a new purpose. But yeah, my mental space, man, is good, man, now. And I just have to fall back on them techniques, man, that I know. Cause I'm like, man, I sit and give these techniques
Yeah.
to everybody else, such as, meditating, such as some of these audios that I have, such as the process of tapping, where you tap on different parts of your body to, different, what they call meridian points of your body to release negative feelings or emotion. And that has really been helping me a whole lot. And maybe one day we'll, get into some of that on here, kind of showing some people, how they might be able to tap to, alleviate some anxiety or different things of that sort. But yeah, my mental space is good, man. And I know a lot of people say, hey, I'm okay. And that okay, man, can mean a whole lot. Cause I see a lot of people, man, that just put on this mask a lot, man. And luckily, since I've been having this, God been giving me more of a sense of, prophecy and discernment, so to speak. I've been able to have some conversations with some people that where I can see through the mask and see that, okay, they saying that they okay, but they really not, man. And God allowed me to actually connect to how some individuals felt, man. And it was interesting because I see them and they smiling and stuff, and then it's like when God connected me with their energy, I'm like, wait a minute, how in the world are you do a great job of putting on the mask, like you are a great
Mhm.
actor or actress with what you're doing. And they smiling, yeah, I am. And I'm like, but you are burning up inside. You are really, going through it on the inside. How do you put on that smile like that? Hey, I'm a good actor or whatever. And they smiling with it. And then before you know it, tears start to flow because I'm like, man, I'm feeling that energy. I had to, it's a number of times I had to just step away. I'm like, man, how are you walking around on earth feeling like that on the inside and not allowing it to be shown on the outside, or not, doing something to try to figure that out? How are you around here able to even fix your mouth to even smile? So it's a lot of people going through a lot, man, now. My heart goes out to you individuals that are going through things at the moment, whether it's mental, financially, spiritually. It's a lot of battles that's going on. Spiritual battles. It's financial,
Right,
physical battles with
right,
physical health, mental battles. People that have mental illness and things that they battle with every day.
right,
You know, so
man.
our heart goes out to y'all. We're just, two down to earth man, down to spirit man, individuals, down to earth man slash spirits that's out here just trying to have life conversations, man, because we realize that a lot of people stray away from talking about, man, how they feel, unfortunately.
Right.
So today we're talking about fear versus faith, and we already mentioned a couple of things in reference to fear versus faith, but what does that look like to you, Sound Off?
Okay. So, we've had these conversations where basically, fear and faith are on the two opposite ends of the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Fear is low vibration, negative. It's, sorrow, dread, um, angst,
Mm-hmm.
um, depression. You know what I mean? It's a whole bunch of negative, or, you know, it's a part of the human experience, but it's all kind of grouped up in one situation. And fear, could be anything. It could be worried about your bills gonna be paid, or worried about is your kid gonna make it home, or are you gonna make it to your destination on time safely, or
Mm-hmm.
or anything like that. And then I think the opposite of faith is just, it's a trusting, it's a knowing.
Mm-hmm.
I trust God, I trust spirit, I
Yeah.
trust source that everything is going to work out for my highest good and for those that are all that are involved, in setting that intention. I think my former pastor would say, faith, the true definition of faith is absolute trust in God. And I think, you
Mm-hmm.
know, when we talk about faith, you know, it's important to know that you have to believe that something is going to happen or can happen, or there isn't a possibility.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like I think like we said, 2 episodes ago when I was telling you about my situation, being in court and stuff like that. It was powerful that even though I had no faith in the situation, someone stood in the gap for me and had faith for me. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? And had the intention that everything is going to work out. So yeah, I think, fear versus faith is you have to know what end are you in. You know what I mean? And like, are you, you know, if something's going on, am I scared? Am I afraid? You know, am I cowering? You know what I mean? If
Mm-hmm.
so, you can't have faith and fear at the same
Same
time.
time.
You know what I mean? You can only be one or the other. You know what I mean? So
Exactly. Yeah.
are you in a scared place, or are you in a knowing and trusting place? I think, for me personally, there have been some times, even more recent, what I mean, where I've been, scared, what I mean, like,
Mm-hmm.
how things gonna, shake out, how things gonna pan out, how things gonna work for me. Things have just been going horrible for so long. Like, is it gonna get better? And then it just got to a point where it's like, you know what? I just need to trust that everything gonna work out.
Mm-hmm. That's
You know what I
crazy.
mean? Like at the end of the day, everything, what's gonna happen is gonna happen, and what ain't gonna happen ain't gonna happen.
Yep.
So, you know,
Man, yep. What you said, fear and faith, man, on two opposite ends of the spectrum, man, two opposite ends of the stick, and it's like, pick one. Now I know sometimes, man, we get in the space of some of these negative emotions, and it feels, it's crazy to say this. It starts feeling a comfortable space to sit in. It's like I just want to sit in my anger and my fear or whatever in this moment now because I don't know. It just kind of almost feels good being there. It's like that negative emotion wants to have a life like anything else. You know what I'm saying? It wants to live. And I think in psychology, I think they call it the emotional refractory period, to where you
mm,
might experience a particular emotion, but it wants to live and kind of live on for a while. In one of my particular situations, I know it's not fear, but it was anger. I had a situation with my car, man, where I had took my Mercedes down to this particular dealership. Not gonna say no names, but should. And man, they messed my car up. Well, they act like they fixed it. I had to get a new radiator, I think it was. They put a wrong hose on there. I end up taking my wife some lunch. She noticed, hey, something's dripping up under your car. Notices radiator fluid dripping out. pop the hood and then see that it's like glue on the end of where the hose is connected at to, you know, the radiator and the engine, which I'm like, what in the world is this? They didn't ninja rig this together. And I didn't paid them, the full money for it. So man, I went to the guy and the guy's like, yeah, you didn't, they gave me the wrong part. You wouldn't want me to have to recharge you with you. I'm like, recharge me when I was like, I paid you the right price for the radiator and all this stuff, right? It's supposed to come with a hose, right? Yes. The correct hose, right? Yes. They sent you the wrong part. That's your manufacturer issue, right? Yes. And I'm like, man, I got so hot. I'm like, man, if I had a bomb, you know, we won't finish it. But man, I felt real mad, man. So it's like, then I just told him, I was like, man, basically fix my stuff or else. And I just walked up out of their garage, started walking down the street, just, man, angry. You know what I'm saying? Then I went to Wendy's. And now I'm over there. I walk up to the counter, and then the person asked me, hey, can I help you? What would you like? And then as I look up to figure out what I like up on the menu above, they walk off, get to dropping fries, get to, doing all type of stuff in the back. And I'm over here, and I'm just angry. And then now I'm feeling like, man, I feel like I can jump over this counter, and go, I'm about to jump over this counter. But then I had to realize, like, wait a minute. Now I want to take my anger out on this individual. True enough, he could have stayed over there and gave me the attention that, the customer's supposed to have, because it wouldn't have took me long to pick what I wanted. But the thing was, I was bringing that anger in from that mechanic car experience on over to there. And a lot of people do that with work and then having an issue in traffic. Here, then there's road rage, or issue at work and then taking it on to, the family and the kids, whatever, at the house. And I feel like fear wants to kind of live in that same particular manner. Like, that anger was trying to live in me in that moment. But right. The thing is, you can move yourself on to the opposite end of the spectrum, the opposite end of the stick, knowing that everything is going to be all right. And that's why I feel like it's important to have, be able to subscribe to a higher source spiritually, you know what I mean? Being able to subscribe to God and know that it's something that's out here that's more powerful than you are, that's able to kind of, manipulate the strings and get a plan for your life or your experience. Because I tell people a lot, man, I see a lot of people, complaining about, man, the bills, man. And I hear some people, man, some family members, they time after time, man, how you doing? Man, this bill, how you doing? Man, this bill. Yeah. And I'm like, well, have you realized that you've been saying this bill for the past 2-3 years with me, but each time the bill has already got paid? And then they had a little moment of awareness, like, wait a minute, you know what, you're right. It has got paid. So I was like, so you was basically wasting your time worrying. So getting in the space of faith is, not wasting your time worrying, like knowing that things are handled and things are getting taken care of and things will get worked out, or some sort of lesson in the midst of the chaos, so to speak. Yeah. So.
And I think there's something powerful with what you just said. The power in your words. You get what I'm saying, Kev? Like
the power in your words.
Like you power your words. Like, Bible will say, faith without words. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. You know what I mean? And it's like, a lot of times in life we get upset and we speak these things over and over and over. I'm not gonna say that I'm not gonna say I don't believe in therapists, because I certainly do. But sometimes I'll be wondering, Kev, like, is there another way we could get help within the therapy, if that makes sense? So it can stop being trauma-based and repeating the same trauma
over and over again.
Over and over and over again. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I feel like if you keep speaking negative, what are you gonna expect? So life and death is in the power of the tongue. If you're steady speaking, this happened to me. I was molested. I was raped. I was, you know what I mean? Not that them. Oh, I shouldn't have said all that. But not that those things are not valid. It's just at the end of the day, you know what I mean? At some point, we have to heal as a community, as a people. We have to move from our trauma. We have to, speak, positive in life itself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
And what you said on therapists, man, I can understand that. I'm in the therapy field, but in a different manner. But I know sometimes with therapists, some people might have moments where it's like, man, I keep having to relive this situation, and I don't feel like I'm getting no resolve. But then for some people, actually expressing it and letting it out is better than keeping it in, because when you keep things in, then it can turn into a psychosomatic chronic illness or something. Like, harboring anger
Right.
sometimes can manifest as cancer,
High blood
or
pressure.
there you is, you know what I'm saying? So I do appreciate some people, being able to talk to therapists and hash things out and figure
Me
out things in a
too.
way to where they wouldn't be able to see it within. It's kind of like the therapist is able to look from outside of the frame and look at the picture in a holistic way. Okay, oh, you missed a spot right here with the blue, but you can't see it from being inside of the frame, inside of the picture. You can't look outside of it and outside of yourself and see it, you know. But I know with the type of therapy that I do, I'm more of a, how would I put it, mental coaches type of thing. And then I do have processes and techniques that I'm glad that, God has allowed me to have, to where I'm able to help a person get into a space of releasing some of those negative traumas and experiences in a quicker way without them having to keep going over it or even expressing it. They could just,
Right.
okay, reflect on it, negative emotion that you're dealing with or whatever. Hey, rating on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being the most you can ever imagine, having experienced it. And then, okay, do this, do that. All right, tell me what it feels like now. Is it at a 0? Oh, it's at a 0. And that's why I appreciate that form of therapy, because they don't have to technically keep reliving it. And then don't even
Right.
sometimes have to even express it to me. Because some people, man, even expressing it to me, saying it out, it's such a big thing. And that's why some people
Right.
go to therapy and they still don't actually open up and be completely open with the therapist. One,
Right.
because they might not be that type of individual they feel like, or they might not feel as comfortable with the therapist as they want to feel, you know.
Right.
And then it might be something where they are so embarrassed and so traumatizing to them, they don't even want to mention it anymore. It's
Right.
period, say it out. So, yeah, so, man, I know a lot of people, are dealing with a lot of, traumatic, negative emotions and experiences. And man, most of every person I've been able to do therapy with, for the most part, has had some sort of abuse. Mostly in the SA space. I just got a chance to talk to one of my family members, and we had a conversation about, man, how a lot of people, within the family, man, and actually been SA, which is crazy, man. And it's like, hey, how do we break that generational curse? I know we in how would I put it, Arkansas, where they act like family does these crazy weird things with family, but it actually might happen in a lot of different cases. I don't know if it's the fact that in the country space you are around family more than you're around other individuals. Like people might be in the city, they get more access to people, or what it is, man. But it's something that we should definitely look at getting a handle on, man, and start having the conversations about. And that's what we are here for. That's what me, mental coach Kev and Soundoff, the general,
Yes,
is here for
sir.
now, to at least start having these conversations, man, and open the door for it, to let y'all know that y'all get two down to earth, down the spirit individuals here, two men that's being open and vulnerable to talk about their experiences, and we hope that y'all start doing the same. Um, is there anything else, man, that we need to get into before we close out, or how you
Uh,
feel?
I'm I'm feeling good, man. I think it's important um for people and for us as people to take a pulse check, when it comes to fear in the faith, what I mean? Like,
You said a post check.
yeah, pulse check, what I mean? Like, see how we're tapping into our emotions and how we're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And I love, I think I did not acknowledge that part of the reason I'm in such a good high space right now, beyond commanding the day, is the technique you taught me on tapping. You know what I mean? Because there are several times where I might get into an energy where I'm feeling anxious, or I'm feeling worried, or I'm feeling stressed, or I'm feeling low, or down, depressed, or whatever, might come up, and I'll tap, and then,
Mm-hmm.
the motion's gone. You know what I mean? Like that. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? And
crazy.
I think um I people should definitely check in, tap in with you on that, because that's definitely beneficial.
Man,
Um,
thank you.
you're welcome, because I wouldn't say it if I ain't believe it. You know what I mean? Like, it actually works. Um, but just check in with yourself, see how you're feeling. Am I being fearful? Am I worrying? Am I doubting? Am I concerned? And you have to realize and know that at the end of the day, what's out of your control is out of your control. And you might as well trust God,
And hand
trust
it over
source,
to the
trust
Lord.
spirit. Yeah, just what I mean, let it go. Like, I think for me, you know, there's so much fear and unknown. You know what I mean? Whether it's the stuff with the president or what's going on with the government, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's going on in neighborhoods, you know
Yep.
what I mean? Like is what's going on with jobs, laying people off and stuff like that. It's like
Yep.
there's so much that we could be fearful about, or we could just simply trust.
Man, come on.
Trust
See?
and know that, you know what I mean, that it's working out.
Yeah.
It may not look like it's working out. It may not feel like it's working out. But one thing I know is that your feelings sometimes can lead you a wrong way sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You may be feeling like, oh, it's not gonna work out, and then all of a sudden, like that, it works out in
Yeah.
your favor, and you
It's like,
just
man,
like,
I was wasting my
man,
time. I think
wasting my time worrying, wasting my time upset,
I think
wasting
your
my
camera
time
just went out
scared.
too. I think your camera just went out for some reason. But yeah, people wasting their time worrying, wasting their time in that space of doubt. And it's like, which one feels better? The space of being in faith and feeling like things are going to work, being in a more optimistic, positive mind frame and feeling space, or sitting and sorrowing in that fear, that fate. I mean, the fear that all that fear space or whatever, that negative energy space. Which one feels better? Faith or that? He back, he back.
Yeah,
And
I'm
it's like
back. I don't know what
you gotta
happened.
choose one. Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah,
You got to choose one.
definitely,
Um,
definitely got to choose one.
let's see. I was gonna mention this too. Shameless plug here. Uh, if anybody is dealing with some stress, anxiety, and you feel like you want to try some of the processes that I do have a free guided audio process that you listen to and then just kind of follow along with it, put you in a relaxed space, but it's for stress and anxiety relief. And it kind of gives some suggestions for having more of a positive mind frame. And you can download that for free on my website, which is mentalcoachkev.com. And I think it's the first thing on there, mentalcoachkev.com. I will be doing I'm working on a community now where I have some amazing processes kind of like that, including that process that Soundoff the General was nice enough to bring up today. That helped him and helped me as well. I have that process in there as well in the community, and that community is being built now. So I'll be offering that to the public sometime here in the near future. But I would say start off with that audio, that stress anxiety relief audio. If you go to mentalcoachkev.com, then you'll see that at the top of the page is a gift from me to you. And then I think you'll have to put in your email address to receive it. And then if you like, I can let you know when the community opens up. And it'll be like a low price, man, like $20 or some dollars a month, $25 a month. But what'll be in there be some stuff that you can use in your daily life whenever you're battling with any one of these negative things. Then you can go in there and then go to the category that might be plaguing you, and then find a solution or some help for it. Because sometimes it's just that one thing that might help you to get out of that, enough out of that negative space to take that next step moving forward. And then that next step, can lead to the next step, and the next step, and before you know it, you're moving. Yep. So, anything you want to plug and mention? Sound off the general.
Once again, soundoffthegeneral.com is coming soon. The website's getting worked on. Right now, if you type in soundoffthegeneral.com, it's going to go to my link in bio, and you'll be able to see my music or see, what I got going on right now. But other than that, Sound Off the General on all streaming platforms, all social media platforms.
Most definitely. Well, that's what it is, man. You want me to close this out, or you want to do it?
Yeah, I'll close it out.
Close it out then,
I
man.
ain't got no shame. Hey, like I said before, continue to tap in with yourself, see how you feeling, check in with yourself, continue to trust and know that things will work out for your highest good, your highest for highest intention for all that involved. And stop worrying so much. Everything's gonna work out. So once again, this is Sound Off the General, mental coach Kev, Down2Spirit. Y'all have a good one.
All right. Peace.